Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome crafty friends, and thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my latest video. Today I am continuing on my journey of creating as many Christmas trees as I can this holiday season using items in my stash. This is the 7th video in the series. I do have a playlist available for this series along with links in the description box if you are interested in checking them out. Today's video focuses on a cute little tree that I created using artificial flower petals and fabric flowers for the top. Stay tuned for the tutorial if you are interested in learning how to create this beautiful little tree. For today's tree, I decided to use up some flower petals that I've had in my stash for a long time. My mom bought me like a bag at a thrift store. These are like kind of the flower petals I think that people throw like down the church aisle when you're getting married. The little flower girl throws them. And so I have a ton of them. So I'm thinking that that might look kind of cool glued onto the side of a cone. And of course I'm using a cone, and this one measures about 7 inches. And this one comes from the center of some crochet thread that my mom had. These ones do have a little bit of a hole on top, but that's okay. I'm also going to use, I believe, this napkin ring that I've chalk painted white as my base. And I'm not quite sure yet what type of top I'm going to put on it. This is one of the items that I was thinking about. It's some fun little crystal beads that my friend Amy Love gave me. I have quite a few of them. Or I'm also thinking that like a little cluster of flowers might look kind of cool up at the top, since this one has a little hole on the top. If your cone doesn't have a hole like this, I believe you can just snip the top off, and then you'll have a little spot to put it in. And then I did chalk paint this kind of in an off-white color, a linen color. And the other thing I did that you can see on camera is I took a pencil and I measured up every 1/2 inch, and I drew some dots and I connected them just to create even spaced lines around the whole cone, just so then I have kind of an even spot to glue down the flower petals. And these flower petals are quite transparent. And so what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to glue like 3 of them together first before I put them onto the cone. And then of course I'm going to be using some hot glue for this. Now you wouldn't have to glue the 3 together if you don't want to. I just want to make them not so transparent looking. I think these ones were probably kind of some cheap flower petals. I think you could also do this technique easily with a different color besides these white ones. And so I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing them around the tree here. And again, I know I am going to prop it up on something, so it's okay if they overhang. So what I think I'm going to do, since I know I'm putting a whole bunch of these together, I think I'm just going to glue a few of them together first and then go ahead and add them. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to glue these into sets of 3. So after having completed gluing several of the petals together, I'm just going to go ahead and start adding them to the bottom of the cone here. And I have absolutely no idea if this is going to turn out or not, but it's just a matter of using up supplies in my stash, and I'm fingers crossed that it's going to turn out. I'm sure this has been done before, but I don't know. I've looked at a lot of inspiration off of Pinterest. I don't know that I've saw any with flower petals, but I'm sure it's been done before, so I don't think it's anything new. it's really nice just to use up stuff that I have in my stash. So when I decided to make this little series, like I said, I walked around my craft room and I thought, well, what could I possibly put onto trees? And so this was one of the items that I came up with. And I don't know if having, you know, tripled everything up, if that's going to hurt or help make it a little poofier. I'm not quite sure. I just didn't want it too transparent either, so that's why I decided to glue a few of the petals together. I think it's going to be quite poofy once I get done with it and add more layers. I'm trying to decide if I add another layer right here or if I just go up. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and go up to the next level. And what I'm going to do is you can kind of see I have a little bit of space in between each of the petals that I glued on. And so when I glue this one on, I'm going to try and fill up for where that inverted triangle is right there. And I'm going to continue to do that all the way around on this one. So then it's kind of off-centered from where these petals are. So hopefully that makes sense, I guess. So that's what I have so far, and I think it's going to look nice being propped up on a little tree stand. So I'm going to continue to work my way up, and I will be back when I have finished adding all of the flower petals. So I finished adding all of the flower petals up, and I really like how it looks from a distance. I also added a base of the napkin ring onto the bottom. So the last thing I have left to do is to add the top, and I think I want to do some flowers. And so I'm just going to kind of bend them a little bit and then hook them around the top of this cone. And I'll just see kind of how many I can fit in here. So that's kind of what the top looks like so far. And I don't know if I can add another one at the very top or not here. I may be able to glue one, which I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to cut this one down, and then I'm going to glue it at the very top right here. So there is my completed tree, and like I said, it looks really cool looking at it from a distance, so I will take the camera down and show you guys what it looks like from a different view. So I will be right back. Thank you again for spending time with me today creating something beautiful. I have to say that this tree turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to, but in the whole scheme of things, it probably isn't my most favorite that I've done so far in this series. And when I think about it, it's probably because I prefer trees with lots of lace or doilies on them. I do, however, think that it is really cute, and I'm happy to say that I've used a little bit of my flower petal stash that I've had in my stash for a long time. If you have time, I would love to read your comments on what you think about this little tree. And also, don't forget to join me again tomorrow for another Christmas tree tutorial. Until then, have a wonderful day and happy crafting.